Look.
Listen.
Hey, Clambos, welcome everybody to Look, Listen, Cast with Geese Guyera, episode 42, where we talk about Pokemon and other things. This week, we're going to talk about Ash and Latios and Clambos. There's no Taylor here. We tried so hard for so many days to get Taylor in here, but he's not. Tell him why, Geese. Peep.
His computer done goofed.
Yeah.
Done goofed the bed.
Goofed the big one. He's trying so hard, trying to... Oh my god.
Guyera.
I wanted Taylor in every episode of Aim to be a Pokemon Master, the Pokemon series that we're currently discussing, but he... Oh my god. We were all pooping and...
His computer's like really messed up.
Today's episode, you wanted to accomplish something big. Something involving the Clambos. Did I already say Clambos? You have questions or concerns about a baby shower. So let's begin.
I don't really have questions or concerns. I wouldn't put it that way. I just wanted to really vent about this baby shower that's coming up on Saturday that I'm really stressed about. I want to know if the Clambos have any like chaotic family get-together stories or comments or anything. I just need some solidarity. So I guess I'll begin. Okay.
I love how I introduced it though. It's neither a question nor a comment or a concern.
No. It's more of like, this is more of me. I need to vent. Okay. So my oldest sister is pregnant. And yes. And we're going to have a baby shower at my mom's house where I currently live this Saturday. And so during the planning, my mom and my sister, my brother-in-law's mom, they're going to invite a bunch of people, expecting most people not to show up. At the very first, I was like, is that a great idea? Like, we can't like host that many people in this house. And my mom was like, oh, it's going to be...
So it's like they're like an airline overbooking their party.
Yes, basically. And my mom was like, it's okay. We can definitely accommodate lots of people outside, even if a lot of people show up. But she was like, I don't think that's going to happen. Fast forward a week before the shower, a couple days ago, my mom was like, okay, we got the RSVPs back. About 45 people are coming out of like 60 they invited. I was like, Mom, you told me that it was going to be around 20 people. Also, it's going to rain all day. And I'm like, okay. Also, I'm having a party the day before.
Wow. Your mother's such a socialite. I can't believe how many people you're going to have to pay out, though, because there's no space at the party. God, fly them back out.
I've been like, you need to delegate tasks beforehand. You need to cook beforehand. So that's what I've been helping her with the past couple days. And then she told me, I also have to make the baby shower games. Why can't you get my brother-in-law's mom to do the games, considering that you're hosting and also feeding all of these people? That was another thing. She refuses to get any of this like catered. So we have to cook all this food and there's like no room to have everyone sit down for dinner. So we have to put up seats in the garage. Ugh. So yeah, I'm just stressed out. And like the fact that my mom is having a party the day before as well, that she's also cooking for. Anyway, so I just needed to vent, Clambos. Thank you for listening. And
you,
I would love to hear about any of your feedback, comments, or family story situations that are similar like this so we can all commiserate. And I will let everyone know how the baby shower went, and I'll let you know.
You sounded like at the end there, your voice was just buckling and you were going to break down. All right, Clambos, please email.
Wait, I'm not done.
Oh my god.
I also haven't even mentioned the fact that my insurance is running out at the end of the week, and I also have to do that on top of all of this baby shower planning.
Wow, Clambos, it's rough out there. My neck and my back kind of hurts. Clambos, please email listencast@gmail.com and tell your horrifying tales of family disaster. Upcoming and previous. All right, Geese Peep. There's no Taylor here. So let's move on to looking, watching, playing, eating, listening. Clambos, this week, I watched the film Beau is Afraid, which is made by the same person who made Hereditary and Midsummer.
Ari
Geese,
Aster?
that is correct. Geese, is Beau is Afraid anything like those first two movies? She moved her hand slightly in a way that to me would mean, I don't know, you tell me.
Yeah, you tell me. I didn't see it.
Which is what I was expecting her to say. Clambos, no, it's not. It is very much what would you call it? Like an art film, very full of symbolism. It's a very interesting movie to watch in the sense that half of the time I was really enjoying it and half of the time I wasn't. So some people are into that kind of thing. It's definitely different. But yeah, I do not know if I could just recommend it. I couldn't recommend it to your average person, somebody that only sees James Cameron or Marvel movies. I couldn't just recommend that to them because it's a bit much. I had I had an issue with the beginning because it was actually too real for me. I was like, yeah, I see that every day. I just in the whole beginning of the movie, I was thinking I just want to go home and play Pokemon. I don't need to see the horrors of the real world I experience every day. But it's an interesting movie. I guess there's stuff you can spoil, but it's got a crazy cast though. I love some of the people in there. Again, I don't want to spoil. I can't say I recommend it, but it is interesting. It's not I wouldn't call it a horror movie like his last two. Although Midsummer was less of a horror than Hereditary.
I forgot to mention that there's also going to be like 5 people staying at this house here. So I don't know where I'm going to sleep, which is also a really fun aspect of this whole journey that we're on.
They're taking your bed?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
So
Maybe it's time for a new trip. Wouldn't that be fun?
also, my mom was like, "Oh, my friend's daughter's going to come. Can you like entertain her?" And I'm like, "No. I'm going to be mingling with the other guests and probably helping you manage this soon to be disaster. I'm not going to entertain this daughter. That is not my job."
I'm trying to. Oh my god! I don't know who it was, but I remember being a teenager and some person coming over, and I had to talk to them. But at the time, I was a teenager with a bunch of acne, so I felt really self conscious about that. It was really weird. I wonder who on earth that girl was. So strange. So strange. Has your family ever tried to do that, Geese, where they try to like quote unquote set you up with some boy that's like a family
Oh my
friend or something?
god.
Uh-oh.
Oh, strap
Uh-oh.
in. Well, there's this whole mission my mom and my actually extended family and grandma have been on since high school of trying to get me to be together with Justin. Um
Uh-oh.
like for example, like I was talking about Justin to my grandma, talking about like his wedding that's in like a year, right? She was like, "Oh, okay, so you have a year."
Oh my god.
Anyway, that's fun. Also at church, okay, so I went to elementary and middle school with this kid. I don't know if I'm gonna use his name. Let's call him John. And his parents and my mom like work closely with church stuff or whatever, and then we always see the family at church when I have to go. Especially when I was forced to go for a long time. And every time I go to church or I went to church, my mom would be like, "Go talk to John. Why don't you go talk to John?" And then his mother and my mother would like talk and be like,
Commiserate.
"Oh, yes, John and Maureen would be so perfect for each other." And he knew. He also knew what was going on, and so it was always so awkward. Ugh.
Yeah, that's the greatest. Yeah, I had to dance with some girl at my aunt's 30th birthday party. They were trying to get us together. She's married now and she has some cute kids. I don't remember. Oh, I had long hair at the time, and then I thought it was funny that the guy she got with had like my same long hair, and I was like, okay, that's amusing. Okay, moving along, Glambos, I also watched. Shouts out Driving D-Van for saying that there is a big giant sale on all the paranormal activity movies on Apple TV. You just get all of them for so cheap, like $5 or something.
Which one is the one with the Xbox Connect?
The Connect is part 4, which unfortunately is seen as one of the weaker entries in the series. 6 and 4 are bad movies. The rest of them are fun to watch. Oh, also they made another one that during COVID, but it had nothing to do with the others, and it was only on Paramount Plus, and that was included. That one is also very, very bad. If that I can recall, I don't remember it being good. But what I was going to say was, it came with all the Paranormal Activity movies and Clambos. I'm sorry, I do not feel like I'm saying all of the syllables in the word paranormal. I'm a paranormal. It came with all of the Paranormal Activity movies, in addition to a documentary that I had never heard about called Unknown Dimension, which was very interesting, and I learned quite a lot, Clambos. I saw Oren Peli, which created the guy who created the first one, and he worked on Mortal Kombat 3. Who knew? Not me. It's very, very fun story hearing about how they made all the movies and all the people that have been involved. I recommend that. The very first Paranormal Activity, I'm not saying it. I'm not saying it correctly.
Paranormal.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to robot it every time. The very first Paranormal Activity and Blair Witch Project are the only 2 films I have ever felt at any point like, ooh, this is kind of scary, because I want to be scared. Geese Peep, if your full name, Miss Geese Peep. And just no other movie can do it except for those 2. So they were that well made. Shouts out Paranormal Activity 1. And then I watched Ted Lasso. That's good. Not as good as last week's, but this week was okay.
Oh, I haven't even seen this week's.
Yeah, it just went up. But Clambos, it's time for my video game. I've been playing Final Fantasy V on the Pixel Remastered Collection, Clambos. It's so good. You can speed up. I'm getting 4 times experience. I'm zipping through. I can turn off encounters if I want.
You've mentioned that you did experience scaling or something because you lost your copy of Final Fantasy V, and so you feel it's justified.
Yeah, well, I didn't lose my copy because I was playing on PS1. So if I'd lost my copy, that would be no big deal. The problem was I lost my memory card, and the memory card had the save date on it. So that's why, I mean, it's not like it even turns off trophies. And like we were discussing just yesterday, Clambos, look.
Listen.
It's a different time. These games were designed with a different set of expectations for people's times. Like, look, if we were little kids and we had nothing to do, okay, fine. Let me spend 2 hours grinding. But, Clambos, do you know how much stuff there is to do in every single day? You think I have time to just spend 12 hours playing Final Fantasy V? No, just let me zip through real quick. But what Geese is talking about is I'm justifying to myself, even if I was about to start feeling bad about speedy zip through 4 times XP, even if I was about to feel bad, look, it's not like I didn't already do this work. So,
guys, he's earned it. Let him have it.
Please.
Guys,
I'm
please.
Thinking, guys, can you, for just once, just give me this one. I think maybe, this is a maybe, we'll decide when it happens. When I get to the point in the game that where I was when I lost the memory card, maybe then I'll turn off the experience boost, because then at that point, at least I'm just playing the game for the first time at that point, because now I'm just trying to catch up, right? For whatever. For this food, ooh, Geese can be.
Are you gonna tell the chronicle of your grand adventure? It's been in the years in the making.
Yeah, sure. As a matter of fact, this is going to be. Let me just real quick say I ate Dokboki place, which is the Korean food with the spicy rice cakes. I was trying a new place because it was highly rated for their Dokboki. And the problem is, Clambos, I just want some Dokboki for myself, but the smallest portion they sell is for like 4 people. And it's so and the like lowest spice they have is still very spicy. So I ate this whole giant, oh my god, duck poke, and it was tasty, but I was on the toilet all day the next day. It was worth it. It was worth it. But that's one thing I ate. That's one thing I ate. Now, let's do Geese Pete presents my food of the week. Geese, if you would like to begin.
As in what I
My,
ate or the food that you had?
no, me. You
Okay.
present my 8. What eat?
Okay.
What Guyera eat? Geese. Tell the story and ask questions.
Okay. So I have been trying to get Guyera to make the long walk from where he resides in the Southern California area to Cava, which is a Mediterranean Chipotle like bowl and wrap rest chain restaurant. I've been trying to get him to make this journey for a very long time because I had Cava once like 6 years ago and I really enjoyed it and I wanted to have
6 years.
yes, it was 6 years ago. I actually looked and I wanted to vicariously live through him. So whenever we would talk and he'd talk about getting food, I'd be like, "Why don't you go get some Cava?" And it was to the point that whenever I brought it up, he would threaten to throw me in a river if I ever said it again.
It
But
was every day, Clambo. You got to
it was
understand.
yeah, it
It
was every day for the
it's
past
such a
couple of months.
meme.
But I guess Geyer, tell me what finally broke it for you to actually make the journey.
Because I had to eat falafel anyway, because or else I was going to get thrown in a river. The Los Angeles River specifically, which is not you don't want to get thrown into that one.
Oh, oh yeah, I did threaten to throw Geyer in the LA River if he didn't get falafel the other day.
So was getting falafel anyway, and I just started looking at the amount of time it would take to get to these falafel places, and I went, well, this one that I was gonna go to is 40 minutes. And then I looked at Kava and I went, oh, that's not that much further. So, as a big surprise to Geese, I walked all the way over there and then took a picture of the outside, and she lost her mind. And Clambos, listen to what I got. I got a crispy falafel pita customized with half chicken, half falafel, harissa. What, Clambo? Apologies up top if this is mispronounced. Harissa, humbo, aka hummus, roasted eggplant dip, cabbage slaw, salt brined pickles, half garlic dressing, and the big mystery to Geese and myself, half a skug or skoog or whatever it is. It's green, I think. Maybe it's some pesto. I don't know. But I also got a little side of tzatziki because I guess I didn't see it on the list of options, and then I walked up and just asked for some because I'm not Clambos. I mean, you think I'm going to walk into a Mediterranean establishment and not get a little bit of tzatziki's? Come on now, get over yourself. Come on, but it was yum yum
I love
yum.
tzatziki.
I love tzatziki. But I love tzatziki more than you.
I doubt it.
You want to fight about it? Show you.
Well, tell the Clambos, did you enjoy it?
Yes, it was yum yum yum. Very tasty. The Clambo's only problem with kava is you eat it and then you go, oh no, I'm so hungry. I could eat that again. It wasn't like baby portions, but I certainly could have packed way more than that little pita. Way more. And the pita was so good. That bread was incredible, but I was the only person in the entire place getting a pita. I guess because everybody out here is so worried about their little waistlines and their little exercise and not getting any calories, but that pita is great.
Well, I think a lot of people get like the grain bowl.
Yeah, they were all getting the bowls. Geese, why don't you tell me? You're watching, playing, eating.
I haven't really been doing a lot of watching. I think like the last thing I watched was last week's Ted Lasso
Which was a good
episode
one.
where they were in Amsterdam. That was a really good one.
It's a classic.
Or as I call it, Hamster Man.
Got him?
So I went to Amsterdam when I was studying abroad in London. I went to the Netherlands and I stayed with one of my sister. Okay, how do I even
All
say
right.
this? I stayed with a family.
Justin's
Okay.
mother-in-law, his
No. No, my sister played field hockey with this Dutch girl, and I stayed with her and her family. So I went to Amsterdam. I did a little day trip because they were in The Hague. So we did a day trip to Hamsterman,
hamster man.
and I kept cracking that joke all the time to her, to this like Dutch girl who's like my age, and she was not very amused by it, but I was very amused by it.
You kept doing it.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
In terms of gaming, just Fortnite, and then I'm back on my BS. I'm playing The Sims 4 again, and I'm trying to
Ooh.
remember all of the controls because I just want to build things.
Slimebos, I'll tell you right now, she was having a whale of a time trying to figure out how to change how tall a wall was or something.
Yeah, I couldn't remember how to change the wall height once you already put down a wall. Ugh.
The amount of times I heard Control Alt something, I'll never live it down. I'll never rue the day. What?
And I also couldn't figure out how to lower mirrors. So if you clambos at home know how to like override the mirror setting so they can lower mirrors on walls, please let me know.
Please email looklistencast@gmail.com to tell her how to lower a mirror in Sims 4.
Also keep in mind I did have baby.move objects on, so I do know that that was not the issue.
Obviously.
In terms of eating, I helped my mom today make mac and cheese because I'm forcing her to make it beforehand before the baby shower. So I had some of that mac and cheese, and it was good, but not the best decision to eat considering I'm lactose intolerant and I'm
Oh no.
having some tumbo issues.
Oh no.
But it
Did,
was good.
did you spruce it up with any barbecue chicken or jalapenos, perhaps? Yum yum yum.
No,
Hot
because
sauce?
we wanted to be vegetarian for people who are vegetarian.
I see. I see. I think they've got like vegetarian chicken stuff. Although those aren't as good. The only Columbus, stop me if I've told you this before, but I've eaten all of the meat substitute kind of variants, and in my experience, the only good one was the taco meat, the Beyond Taco meat at Del Taco. I just
Yeah.
thought, oh my god, this just tastes like a taco. That's incredible. Whereas the burgers, the Beyond Burgers, I've had you name it from any fast food place to like really nicer places. And every single time I thought, I think everybody's lying. This doesn't taste good at all. It doesn't taste like a hamburger. It doesn't just eat a salad if you don't want to eat meat. Like this is not good in the slightest. But
I have a friend who's like been a long time vegetarian, and she says that she can't eat the fake taco meat at like Cadoba or other places because it's too much like meat.
it
Like
is.
yeah,
I'm
it wigs
saying
her
like
out.
that's they should write that on their what do you call it, like their testimonials. That's a selling point, honestly, because it is very realistic. Tastes just like meat. What are you gonna do? Are you finished with the segment, Geese? Do you want to throw it over to Poca News the day, or is there more to say?
I just want to say that I really want a grilled cheese burrito.
Oh my god. I need a grilled cheese burrito.
Mm.
Everybody send grilled cheese burritos. Thank you, Lanky. Okay.
The thing is, like, the closest Taco Bell is like 3 miles away.
Oh my, I'd walk there in a second.
Well, like the thing is to get there, like there's no sidewalks
I'd die for it.
for the grilled
Yes.
cheese
Yeah,
burrito.
for the grilled cheese burrito.
There's actually a Cava that's closer. Maybe I'll convince my parents to get Cava for dinner.
You should. You imagine
Tomorrow
how
night.
excited you're gonna be. Oh my god.
I know. The thing is, here's everyone come close, come close.
Shh, quiet, guys. Listen.
Here's the thing about my parents.
She's whispering because they're in the same house.
Yeah, they just came home. They are incredibly cheap in general, but also when it comes to takeout, like we rarely get takeout, like rarely. And whenever I'm like trying to order takeout, I'm always getting yelled at, like, don't you think this is too much food? I'm like, no, I always end up eating it. If there's leftovers, I'll eat it. But it's so whole big ordeal. And then when I'm like, oh, let's get takeout, my dad does a big sigh, like, and it's always such a big ordeal ordering it because for some reason they can't figure out like ordering ahead to pick up. Like they
Oh,
refuse
no.
to do it, even
Oh,
though it's
God.
easier for everyone.
Clambos, when are they going to learn? When are they going to learn? So much easier.
Yeah, I'm just like, we can just order it now so we know we have all the order ready and we can just go and pick it up.
What I do every day of my life, it's not difficult. Geese, would you please send me to Poke News, the Poke News? Also, there's something cute in here, so make sure to open the doc for yourself to look at it.
I saw that. Guyera, please tell me the Pokey news of the week.
Clambos, welcome to Poke News of the Week. This week, the week of, oh my God, is my computer about to die? Holy moly. No, we're fine. Clambos, the next Scarlet and Violet Terror Raid has been announced. There is a 7-star raid happening between April 28th. Happening between April 28th and the 30th. And then it will repeat May 9th through May 7th. Thank you to Joe Saraby for the news. I did say it's an ice type in Teleon, right? Or did I just not say that?
I don't know.
Very sick. Very good Poke News of the Week this week. But all these terror raids are great. I'm going to wait for Austin John Plays to put out his YouTube video where he tells us what Pokemon to use. And then I'm going to catch this bad boy. He's going to have the mightiest mark. And it's going to be sick. And then, Geese, why don't you tell the Clambos what Japan just and this is me quoting from a tweet, what Japan just recently released merch-wise in Japan called My Pikachu.
It's My Pikachu, and apparently each Pikachu is unique and has like different physical characteristics. And I'm looking at this picture and it's very cute.
There's just all these Pikachu plushes, and some of them have like a little smile, and some of them have a little frown or a
I
little
want one that's
smirk.
winking.
Oh my God, that's so cute. That's adorable.
Or one that's doing a kissy face, like.
Oh yeah, oh God, can you imagine how much Geese would love that? Oh wait, I dropped my Poke News of the Week voice. Oh well. All right, Geese, now that we've completed Poke News of the Week, please send it off to the episode with the episode in English, and we will discuss the episode of Pokemon this week.
Okay. The title of the episode in English is Ash and Latios.
Or in Japanese, Satoshi to Latios. Ratiosu. This is episode 10 of Aim to Be a Pokemon Master. Clambos, this is the penultimate episode. Can you believe Taylor is missing the penultimate episode? Please be upset at him for his broken computer.
So the episode starts basically where the last episode ended, with Latias giving Ash and the twerps a vision, or I guess dream sharing, I think Brock calls it later, of Latios getting chased by someone, and then Latias basically uses her dream psychic abilities to see a vision of Latios getting chased by a Pokemon hunter, and Ash is like, we gotta save Latios. Is that correct?
Yes. What we learn later in this episode, what we learn later in this episode is that Latias can show Ash memories that she had, and she can also
Memories.
oh my God, not again, Geese. She says that
Sorry,
so
go on.
much. But she also has the ability to show Ash everything that Latios has seen because they're psychic linked, because they're siblings, they're brother and sister. So she can see what he sees. Clambos, there was confusion last week about, are they in a contained space here? No, that was all just a vision, just an illusion that Latios was showing the kids from Latios's point of view. Also, we learn that Latios has a big dumper. Like, there's a shot where her booty's just so large. Then we get some very sad Capcom, Konami, Squaresoft, PS1 music. Very good soundtrack. Always on point in the Japanese versions of these episodes.
Also, I want to point out that, and I talked to Geyer about this yesterday, and I guess he didn't realize it, but during the intro song, they always have different Pokemon, I guess from different generations, featured in the clips that play while the song happens. And this week, all of the Pokemon and all of the clips were Alolan Pokemon, and I got very excited because I thought they were going to go to Alola to save Latios, but I was wrong and I was sad.
Oh, poor Geese. Genius Brock, which he's going to come up a couple times in this episode, just absolute 4,000 IQ Brock says to Ash, "Oh, Latios can see what Latios sees." Okay, Brock, that you're just omniscient Brock. And then we see the Twerps and Hawlucha, Infernape, and Pikachu. Wow. Is this the first ever just straight continuation of an episode, Geese? This is just a two-parter. That's the most to be continued we've ever seen. It's just a couple seconds after last week's episode.
I think they did that once, at least once, in Sun and Moon.
Yeah,
Not the
probably.
not the episodes that we watched, but in the later seasons.
Yeah, that seems like something you do as a big finale or something. Everybody, let's go save Latios. So Pikachu hops onto Latios, and Steelix is thrown out by Brock, and everybody starts riding Steelix. He
Why did
moves very funny.
why did they, of all the Pokemon they have, why did they write that one? I feel like it could have taken a flying one out.
Maybe, well, yeah, this one does take place just a couple seconds later. But maybe Ash has put some of his Pokemon in the box in the PC, like Dragonite or whatever. I mean, Brock, excuse me, Steelix does move pretty quick, and he's powerful too. I mean, maybe they're trying to think like, oh, what if we get into a big battle on the way too? I don't know, Clambo.
Also, did you notice that Misty, even during times of great need, did not take out a single Pokemon?
I think she tried to later in this episode, but she got dragon scaled away. Shouts out, spoilers. I have some trivia for that. Clambos, don't you wait. At this point, Latias reveals that she has been there for all of Aim to be a Pokemon Master. I think we get a little montage of every episode where she was invisible and Geese was calling her Lapidust.
Was she doing that because Ash saved her in the first episode, or was she doing that because she wanted Ash's help?
Well, here's the thing. Ash helped her out. Maybe she was kind of testing him, but well, here's the big thing. And this is, I guess, kind of spoiler jumping ahead. Sorry, Clambos. Geese, I scrolled past her notes because she was confused what happens at the end of the episode. The end of the episode actually has a huge reveal. It reveals that the movies are canon. So there is a movie that came out years ago during Generation 3, or it could have been maybe closer to Generation 4. But either way, it was a Latios and Latios movie. And that area they go to with the little girl, that's from the movie. And that's the first girl that ever kissed Ash, who was a Latios. It's confusing, but I think Latios knew Ash from the movie from before. So she trusted it. I'm guessing. This is all conjecture, Clambos. I'm not Brock. I don't have all the answers.
Well, they did mention in the first episode of the series, like Ash mentioned that he remembers her.
From the movie? Okay. That's so now we have it confirmed. It is the same Latios from the movie. Good to know. Okay, so Clambos, apparently, it looks like we're not. Is Latios able to make everybody not only invisible, but what is the word, Geese? Transparent, where you can actually phase through things? What is that word? She's thinking.
Dematerialize?
Dematerialize? No. It's not a verb.
Teleport?
No, I'm saying she. Not only are they invisible, they can walk through things, like Casper the Ghost.
Transmutable?
No. I can't actually tell if they can actually fly through trees or if it's still just a brain fantasy vision.
I thought it was a vision.
But they're all invisible in any case. They're flying through rocks. And then we see Latios Baclambos. He's looking so beat up, and he's being chased by Dr. Claw on a Hydreigon. And
Is that his name?
No, Dr. Claw's. Oh, Poor young Geese. Dr. Claw's the villain of Inspector Gadget, who kind of looks like this goofy guy.
Oh, I remember watching that cartoon.
Do 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 do.
Do, 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 do.
Dr. Pokemon Hunter, we're going to be revealed. We don't actually ever get his name, Clambos, but he's a Pokemon Hunter. And he's got this goofball red streak in his hair, and he's got this red monocle and a golden X Buster. Oh, I wish Taylor was here. He would have something to say about that. And then I have written down here, oh, this is not real? What's happening? Are we still in a vision?
Is that Pokemon, the three-headed dragon Pokemon, is that new from like Sword and Shield?
No, Hydreigon's been around for a while. He's a Unova Pokemon from Generation 5. He's pretty sick. I like him. A lot of people mispronounce his name, though. His line is, they're the numbers in German. So there's Dino, so ein, that's one head, Zweilis, which is two, Zwei, and Hydreigon, dry, which is three. So it's like, like the Hydra in Greek mythology or whatever, just getting more heads as it goes along.
During the chase scene with Latios and the fancy monocle man, that the trees looked a little janky.
Janky trees.
Also, there's this like dramatic chase between Latios and the hunter that we're seeing from Latias's vision. And then there's a sharp cut, and then they go to, who's that Pokemon?
Yeah, the vibe was like
It was
completely
so weird.
severed because it's so cute and like preschool versus, oh my God, everybody's gonna die. Pikachu is barely holding on to the Latios as they're flying super quick. So far, like Geese said, everything we've seen so far is just a vision. So Latios is very sad about her brother, and Pikachu tries to console Latios, saying it's gonna be okay. We're gonna save Latios, don't you worry. Oh my God, I just realized this next plot point they never did anything with, right? This was when they cut to what, Geese? At nighttime? The Team Rocket headquarters?
Oh yeah, they cut like at nighttime. We see Meowth,
Who do we see,
Jesse,
Geese?
and James. Meowth.
Who?
Oh, Team Rocket. So we see the members of Team Rocket separately arrive at the Team Rocket headquarters at the same time. And yeah, I guess that's the last of Team Rocket we see this episode.
Yeah, none of them see each other. That's important too.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Sounds like James is speaking Spanish because he says something in Japanese, obviously, but it sounded like kayete, kayate, just quiet in Japanese. I mean Spanish. So apparently Jessie got to keep the balloon and Wobbuffet. She got the good end of the deal there. Jeez Louise.
Did she catch Wobbuffet? Is that her?
Maybe. I always thought of Wobbuffet as just one of the team, but maybe she did catch Wobbuffet. Write in, looklistencast@gmail.com. Let us know. Then we cut back to the twerps. They're making stew, Clambos, and we've got some great music.
It looks like some kind of like dumpling, like chicken dumpling or something.
Oh yeah, the soup looks fantastic, but the music, it sounds like if the song Cheer Up Charlie was good from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, and Geese is of course going to say, I've never seen that movie because
I've never seen it.
Clambos, there is a lot of speculation going on about Latios and the Hunter. Between Brock and Misty, they're just coming up with all these theories on what happened about their previous relationship and how Latios is involved. I don't understand how Brock is so aware of everything in this episode, is what I'm trying to get. But then Geese, what does everybody bring over to Latios?
Ash with Pikachu brings over some Pokemon food for Latias and gives her some food.
Pikachu demonstrates the concept of eating, which made me laugh. Just shows to Latios, look, you can put food in your mouth and swallow it. And she likes the food, and they're feeding her. And then we cut to the morning, Clambos. Latios is bathing in the healing spring, just like Final Fantasy V, which I played, recovering, and then sends Latios a vision of what's going on. And Latios wakes up and tells everybody else to wake up. I guess they immediately start traveling, right? Because the hunter doesn't show up until they're already moving, right? On their way to Latios.
Yeah, like we see the hunter is kind of flying a little bit behind them and sees them and starts following them.
Yeah, the Pokemon hunter is flying above them. I'm surprised nobody noticed or heard him. Maybe Hydreigon flies really quietly. I don't know. So then everyone decides to go into the cave. Now, Clambos, here's the bad thing. It looks like maybe there's been some sort of trap set up because it looks like the twerps are leading the Pokemon hunter right to Latios. They make it to the healing Latios spring, and the Foley work is very good on their footsteps. I like it.
Latios is very suspicious of Ash. Doesn't seem to be a fan, and tries to attack Ash, but Latios gets between them and is like, "No."
Clambos, this is just a thought I had. I don't think Latios trusts human beings. So Latios goes to attack Clambos, but Pikachu's having none of it, and Pikachu Iron Tails away Latios' attack.
What do you think Latios and Latias are made of? Do you think they're like dolphins? They have like skin like dolphins.
Oh, God, I don't know. I know their arms, to me, always look bandaged. And I know they were bandaged at one point, but they have this like soft underbelly inside of their arms. And it always looks like it's bandaged. I don't know. Here, Clambos, let's go.
Ash catches Latias at one point in the episode and like doesn't seem to struggle to hold her. I'm wondering like how light they are.
Oh, catches. Oh, yeah. Okay. When you use the word
Sorry,
catch in Pokemon terms, that does
physically catches Latias. I feel
I'll
like they
tell
would be
you,
like a dolphin.
they are 40 kilograms for Latios, 88 pounds. So they're very light. I'm looking up online some information about Latias. Now, normally I am more of a Cerebi person, but Bulbapedia may be good for the information I'm currently looking for. It has feathers. Okay.
Feathers?
I know. It's a bird-like body stylized after a plane. Okay. Now, Geese Peep loves birds, so she's already on board.
Maybe they're like giant hummingbirds.
Yeah, Latios is female only. Latios is male only. I don't like their megaforms. Their megaforms are identical, but they look even more like a jumbo jet kind of thing with bigger arms. They're just like a plain.
Megaforms.
We don't even need to get it. Megaforms
Okay.
are like. That sounds so sad. Megaforms were a thing that didn't last for very long. It was introduced in X and Y, and I have always hated megaforms. I much prefer They're called mega evolutions, but they're not real evolutions. They're like Digimon digivolutions where they go back to
Oh,
normal.
like Gyarados?
Yeah, you've seen Mega Gyarados. That's a mega evolution. I think they're very dumb because they don't even have they have a Pokedex entry, but it's not a new Pokemon. I'm glad that they got rid of that concept. I'd prefer a new Pokemon. And Latios is screaming, saying, "No, Latios, they're our friends." Ash introduces himself, which was very funny to me. Like, "Oh, it's me, Ash. It's okay." Latios is whining, and then Geese, who shows up to attack all of them.
Unnamed hunter.
Oh my God, the Hydreigon attacks with a dragon attack, and then it uses a crunch. Very scary. Clambos, the Hydreigon, because it's got 3 heads, 2 of them are able to bite both Latios and Latios, so he's got both of them. And then Brock and Misty go to throw out their Pokemon, but the hunter scale shots them away, and the Pokemon don't come out. Which I didn't know was a thing you could do. Just like cancel out a Pokemon just by scale shotting it. Now, it's a very interesting Geese, because you asked, is Hydreigon a new Pokemon? Well, he's from Generation 5, which is quite a while ago now. It's like 2010 those games came out. 2011. But the move he uses, Scale Shot, is a relatively new move that is... The trivia of the week. Geese, can you give me a Poke trivia of the week? Give me introduce.
Introduce it.
Yeah, just say it's trivia of the week. Poke trivia of the week.
Pokemon trivia of the week.
Exactly. So the move he uses, Scale Shot, is the signature move of Roaring Moon, which is an ancient paradox Pokemon of Salamence introduced in Generation 9. But the first time we ever saw Scale Shot was as a move tutor move in Generation 8 DLC. Ooh, very interesting. Then, Clambos, we get Ash and the Hunter exchanging words in a very anime fashion. Evidently, Latios and Latias are beautiful and thus valuable, and that is why the Hunter is here to steal them away. Dragon Pulse! And what I find funny is the voice actor for the Hunter is actually really, really cool, but like way too cool for Pokemon because it's just a kid show. But he's doing this anime like hard voice.
It is very anime.
Yeah. His voice is way sicker than his design. Like his design is goofy in Pokemon, but his voice is like, oh my God, this guy belongs in, I don't know, insert whatever real hard anime you can think of that's applicable. Just a way more adult anime. Then Ash yeets himself onto the Hunter, which this is Ash's favorite thing to do. He doesn't care at all about the danger of any situation. He will always just jump off a cliff and plummet himself onto something. But then, Geese, we see from the Hunter, he pulls out his Mega Buster, and what happens?
So I have a question about this. He has this like arm gun that turns Pokemon, I thought initially into metal, but maybe it's just like a really thick, dark goo.
It looks to me like they're being petrified, and it looks like the metal Mario from Mario 64. So he just like petrifies them into this metal thing. Can't be that heavy though if Ash can still hold it. So the Hunter shoots his freeze gun. Go Latios! Oh my God, Clambos. Ash is thrown off of the Hunter, and he does this perfect little backflip landing on the water, like he always does. You stop me if I've told you this before, but there's a scene in the first Pokemon movie where Ash is laying down, and then he just, from a laying down position, jumps up into the air onto his feet. And I tried a million times to do that as a kid and could never. He's way too acrobatic. So unrealistic. Come on. Lands. He's like a cat.
I literally wrote Ash lands like a cat.
That's what I wrote too. Ash lands like a cat. Oh my God, Clambos, Latios is hit. Oh, it turns metal just like Mario 64, like we mentioned. And the Hunter starts shooting at Latios. Dragon Pulse, Thunderbolt, Ghost Stealing, Stone Edge, Electro Web. Now, here's the thing. I know I'm just yelling attack names, but this actually was very sick to watch. If you watch, it's a cool combat sequence. This is Geese's favorite part of any episode, just Pokemon moves flying back and forth. And then the Hunter, does the Hunter escape with Latios? No. No, he doesn't.
I thought he did.
And then the Hunter escapes with Latios. Go, Swellow, you follow the Hunter. Because Ash throws out his Pokemon Swellow, the Gen 3 bird. But Clambos, Latios is hurt. He's just laying on the ground. And Geese, what does Brock try to do?
Brock tries to administer some spray and
Potion.
Latios knocks it out of his hands.
Clambos, even after all this, Latios still does not trust humans enough to just get sprayed by a little potion. And Pikachu's trying to get Latios to understand that they don't want to hurt him, they just want to help him. Okay, I have written down here, Ash 3 rumps him after a mind meld. Wonder what?
Reassures him?
No. 3 PMGS. Kind of looks like.
Right?
Or maybe hugs? Does he hug him? I don't know.
I know that Pikachu starts talking to Latios and tries to argue with him.
Well, he's trying to convince him. Okay, so then Latios has a mind meld with Ash, and somehow, some way, it looks like they're gonna try to trust each other now. Because they get on Latios and zip off, and they start flying so fast, Clambos, you wouldn't believe it. They zip past some poor Spinnerack. They were cute. And they're flying so fast, faster than Steelix. Oh no, Clambos, he's still got injuries. He's still hurting, poor Latios. Okay, Clambos, they finally find the hunter in a cool avatar location. There's jagged rock towers coming out of the water.
I also noticed that.
It's like
the end battle with Fire Lord Ozon.
Oh, that I was actually talking about Avatar, the James Cameron, but it also looks like Avatar, the Last Airbender. Any Avatar property, that's what it looks like, Clambos. It's also like a JRPG. It looks cool. It looks cool. Oh my God, Swellow's been hit by the arm cannon metal maker. Oh no! Luckily, Brock catches it. Thank goodness. Oh my God. And Latios and Ash start chasing the hunter. And it's a regular Final Fantasy IV and Final Fantasy IX out here. Everybody's getting petrified out here. Spoilers. The hunter's brilliant plan, Geese, was to bring them to an area where they can't fly freely, which I guess you could just go up, right? But I guess if the hunter is like high-dragoning around in between the rock towers, they can't. All right. Brock, brilliant Brock says, Ash, destroy his arm cannon because clearly that will cure all the Pokemon. Geese? How does he know that?
I don't know how he knows that. A big leap of faith, I'd say.
Maybe Brock is just familiar with the paralyzing, petrifying metal cannon technology that's just out there, I guess. Go, Aurasphere! Now, Clambos, look, listen. This battle is, you're going to see, if you know Pokemon type matchups, you're going to start thinking, or smart. And I'll explain why when we get to it. Go, Aurasphere, which is a fighting type move. Keep that in mind. And Hydreigon is a dark and dragon type Pokemon. Pikachu's looking cute, and we get a Dragon Pulse from the Hydreigon. And there's a sick anime shot of the hunter screaming after
Pikachu destroys the arm thing, right? With the Iron Tail?
He does. Pikachu destroys the arm cannon and everybody is cured. And we get the sick anime look of the hunter screaming. And also, I guess does Latios slam into Hydreigon's body armor thing and then they fall in the water?
Yeah, they fall in the water and we're like, oh, the battle's done. But nope, in a second, they come flying out of the water.
Now, Hydreigon's little belt thing, power bracelet armor, didn't break, but the hunter's monocle did. So now it looks like we're in the next phase of the boss battle. Now you've done it. Dragon Pulse, and it hits Latios. And then, oh no, we're in trouble. Because Hydreigon uses Crunch, a very powerful dark-type move. And as we all know, Clambos, psychic types are weak to dark. So I think it's curtains for Latios. I think there's no way he's surviving a full Crunch to the face. Oh my God. Ash is yelling, wait! And I'm just thinking to myself, I'm doing the math. I'm thinking, oh my God, that's 2.5 times damage. Because not only is it doing 2 times for being super effective, but it's a dark type itself. So it gets the 1.5 times stab, same type attack bonus. So I'm like, oh my God, we're in trouble, Clambos. We're in trouble. But Ash and Latios are going to work together to win the battle. And this is actually what I thought when Geese said that Ash caught one of them. I thought, no, they didn't catch. They're working together, but he didn't catch him. Not his trainer. He's going to act as Latios' trainer for this scene. It'll be fun. The hunter mocks them for working together. And Ash says to use the move Psychic. At which point I think, Ash, you knucklehead, that's a Psychic type move. That's not going to do anything on a dark type. Which, dumb me, just like the villain, didn't realize. Clambos, Ash had a whole plan the whole time. And the Psychic was merely a ruse. So then what happens, Geese?
The hunter is like, you fool!
After Ash uses Psychic And the villain is laughing at his foolish mistake. Ash comes out of nowhere and uses Aura Sphere, the fighting type move, super effective on a dark type Pokemon. And he got him, Clambos. The Hydreigon is completely knocked out. And Brock, once again, the smartest man ever to exist, starts explaining the psychic trick. Just, I knew the whole time. It was a clever psychic, and then he was going to disappear, and you would never know. You'd never see the Aura Sphere coming. And then the hunter's... so the hunter is on the ground. The Hydreigon's knocked out, and he just starts sprinting towards him. What's the hunter gonna do? Just start fighting Ash? Start punching Ash?
Yeah.
All these Pokemon? Very funny. But Latios saves the day. She psychics the hunter up into the air so he can't move. Latios, I'm gonna keep it real with you. Why didn't you do that earlier? Why didn't you just psychic him up and he couldn't do anything? Psychic off his arm cannon. Good to go. Good to go. So the hunter's just levitating in the air, and Geese, who shows up just right on time.
Wee you. It's the police. They have a helicopter.
Officer Jenny in a police chopper. Just, of course. Very convenient. And then I didn't expect this. I don't know what I expected, like him to just be really angry. But instead, the Pokemon hunter just says, "Fine, I won't do it again." And then we cut to the tearful goodbyes of the Latioses, the Latioses, and the Twerps. Ash tries to tell Latios that he's not healed up yet. He starts to approach Latios, and what does Latios do, Geese?
Pulls away.
He swats him away. Latios loves swatting people away. He's like the cat that you really want to be nice, so you keep petting him, but he's always upset, especially if you start petting his tail and he gets all upset. Very amusing. And Ash says to Latios, "Let's battle again together someday." And then both the Latioses leave.
Misty's like, I wonder where they're heading home to.
And Ash says, "Maybe it's time for me to go home too." Remember, Clambos, we're running out of time with Ash. We've got one more episode with Ash, and then we're done. Was it the announcer who says this? Because it just got really deep and maybe sounded better in Japanese, but something about Latios and Latios are etched deep into Ash's being.
And then we see them, and they're flying around in Venice.
Yeah, Venice. Good old Venice in Pokemon World. They're in the Latios and Latios city where they have statues of them built everywhere. And we see the little girl from the movie that was actually Latios and gave Ash a little kiss, like I said earlier. And that's the end of the episode. It says to be continued. And like I said, we finally get the link between the movies and the TV show. Clambos, it's a big deal. People have speculated for years, much like Brock and Misty always speculating this episode.
I have to say that I found this episode a bit disappointing. Because the entire series, we've been getting these references to like Latios, like watching Ash. And I found this really anticlimactic to the whole storyline. I assume that this would end in a way that, one of the Team Rocket, not the main group, but like a Team Rocket associate would be hunting Latios. And that the Team Rocket, like the Jesse, James, and Meowth, would have like a change of heart and would help the Twerps. I thought this was how that was going to end, but this is just some random hunter and that was hunting them, and then you don't really know why Latios was kind of watching over Ash the whole time. I don't know.
Yeah, especially when you remember we've only got one episode left to wrap up everything. I agree. It seems like there's a lot more.
What was the point? What was the point of the entire Latios storyline?
I guess just because Latios has been there every episode so far. So the idea is you've been curious as to why, and now we know why, and we've saved Latios. So that.
But
the
why have that storyline in general?
Put the movies together with the show, maybe? Who's to say? But we did wrap up because this entire aim to be a Pokemon Master the entire time we have seen Latios. So now that storyline is wrapped up. So we finished all the Latios business. And now we can move on to just, I guess, Ash saying goodbye to friends and family and to the fans forever until, of course, the inevitable movie where he comes back and everybody loses their minds. We'll see. Let's send it to the wrap-up, Geese. Geese.
Thank you, everyone, for listening. Please follow us on Look Listen Cast on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. Thank you to Keith for our artwork. Please follow him on twitch.tv/KeithSquared.
He played a Pokemon game, Fire Red, I believe.
Yeah, and I made him name his rival Geese.
And he just recently made a song using Geese's audio from the podcast because she sounded melodic. It was sick. It goes, gamers. So get ready to hear that, maybe. Who's to say?
You can put it at the end of this episode.
Yes, I can. You'll hear it in a second. Or right now. Well, it's a long clip. I don't know.
S S S S S S
All right. Thank you to all our supporters. You can go to looklistencast.com and it's a link tree and you click Spotify for podcasters and you can support us monthly. Thank you so much. Shouts out to Professor Ticklebits for the boilerplate and the ad read and the website and everything else. Geese, please tell Clambos who to recommend this podcast to.
Your friends and family, especially your grandma.
And your cousins and nephews and boys that your parents try to set you up with and their families. Would you like to scroll down to the next page and read the question this week from a new question asker? Shouts out.
Yes. So I'll just read both questions from triforcevigor.
AKA SundaePep.
She asks, what are your top 3 pokes? And what are your top 3 shinies?
Oh man, Geese, this is a tough one, but I didn't want to sit there and try to actually think it out and do the math, but I'll give you some of my favorite Pokemon. This is not binding, Clambos. This is just off the top of my head. Obviously, Magmortar. Love him to death. That's a top 3 poke. I love my little baby boy Swinub. He's a cutie pie, adorable, Generation 2 little guy.
Little guy.
He's a baby. Toxtricity is also very, very cool. Oh, man. Cerulege is very cool. I'm only allowed 3. Sorry, only allowed 3.
What about Electrobug?
Oh, Vikavolt? Is that who you're talking about?
Vikavolt.
Yeah, he's sick.
Yeah.
He's sick. He's not my top 3. No offense, Vikavolt. You're very sick. You're very sick. You're like top 10 easy, top 20 easy, but he's not top 3. He's very sick though, very sick. Top 3 shinies. Oh man, there's some good shinies out there. Clambos, I think number 1 we have to go with shiny Scizor, only because I wanted that Pokemon so badly. That's the only Pokemon I ever did like an actual, real, like what people did before shinies were easy to get, hunt, where I caught so many Scythers, or battled so many Scythers looking for a shiny. And clearly I would be doing other things like watching shows or movies while doing this. I mean, I'm not a maniac, but I just spent so many hours, Geese. Dozens and dozens of hours, and I was keeping track of how many I encountered. It was like into the thousands and thousands, and I still wasn't getting a shiny. So eventually I started just breeding Scyther eggs And when I finally got that shiny Scyther, I got so excited and immediately evolved it into shiny Scizor, which is green and so sick. Then other shinies I like shiny Galarian. Well, there's only one of them, but Obstagoon. He looks like a delicious ring pop. The new shinies are great these days because they're really designed based off of what would look really sick for a shiny. Worst shiny ever is like the Cerulege line because it's the exact same, but the eyes are a little different. Oh, there's so many shinies I love. That's why it's hard to pick a third favorite shiny. Well, you know what? Just because I caught him yesterday, Clambos. Slugma. He's a great shiny. He's normally a little red fire guy, little fire slug, but his shiny is silver, and it's cool.
My top 3 are probably Gloom, because I have nostalgia from the original series, especially the episode where they go to that perfume factory, and there's a bunch of Gloom there.
Oh my God, Clambo. I tried so hard to get her a Gloom plushie in Japan, but they only had Gloom stickers. And it stinks because when I was in Japan last time, they had so many Gloom plushies because they were doing just the Kanto line. And right now they're focused on the Unova Gen 5 line. Gosh, if only I had known.
Yeah. I also like Gloom because he's a little freak.
All right.
I like basically all of the Alolan starters, especially Rowlet, who's a baby,
So
and
that's
Litten.
2.
I really like Litten. So if I have to do 3, I guess it would be Gloom, Rowlet, and Litten. But also Pikachu. How can you
Geese,
not?
you can't say Pikachu.
Why not?
Gee, you know why not. Come on. You can be an honorable mention, I guess.
I guess. In terms of shinies, I only really played one Pokemon game, and that was Sword and Shield. And I kept trying to get a shiny Muna, because Muna's usually pink and purple, but the shiny one is like yellow and orange.
I also shiny hunted for a shiny Wooloo, which is a very good shiny, because normally Wooloo's a white sheep and the shiny is a black sheep.
Oh yeah, I think I did that too. But I don't really know. I don't really play enough Pokemon games to have 2 other shinies.
You've never seen a shiny? You gotta at least say like the red Charjabug from the Sun and Moon anime. Come on now.
Okay.
You can think of 3 shinies, please.
Okay, Muna, Charjabug.
Why don't you just Google shiny Pokemon and just scroll down? You'll see one that looks cool. A lot of people love shiny Ponyta. She's all blue.
What was the unicorn one from Sword and Shield?
Galarian.
Oh, that's
Rapidash?
Galarian Rapidash. Is there a shiny version of that?
Yeah, there's a shiny version of all Pokemon. Some of them like there's some legendaries and mythicals that we have not had distributions of yet, so they're technically unobtainable legally, but they still exist in the code.
What does a shiny Vulpix look like? Let's say that's my 3rd.
Shiny Vulpix is boring. It's like just yellow instead of red. Shiny Ninetales now, that's a Pokemon. Shiny Ninetales looks great.
Guyera, I'm hungry.
Hungry for Kava.
Yeah.
I don't care what your parents say. You march over there and you say, Mom, Pop, we're going to Kava. And you grab their little hands and you say, we're getting in the car right now. And you turn on, you put the key in the ignition, you turn it on, you turn on the air conditioning, and you put on your seatbelt and you sit in there and honk the horn until they get in the car because you're going to Kava. It'll work. You can do it. Look, I'm on a roller coaster. Wee. All right, Clambos, I gotta use the restroom. Thank you for listening. I'm sorry there's no Taylor. Please yell at him because we've wasted hours on him trying to troubleshoot his broken computer. He's ruining all of our lives, and I apologize. Okay. All right, Clambos. We'll talk to you next week for the big finale of Aim to be a Pokemon Master. And hopefully Taylor's here. God, he better be. And then we'll figure out what to do with the podcast after that. Okay, thank you so much. Goodbye, everybody. Geese, you gotta say goodbye 3 times. Goodbye. Say it one more time, Geese. Goodbye. One more time, Geese.
Goodbye.
All right, bye.
Howdy, y'all. It's me, Geese Peep. Thank you for listening to the Geese Peep Productions podcast.
Geese Peep Enterprises, doing business as Peep Industries, together with its subsidiaries, is a diversified worldwide entertainment company with operations in media networks, talent management, parks and resorts, multimedia entertainment, and consumer products and interactive media. Geese Peep Enterprises is a Dow 30 company.